What?
I found this file. While I was looking around the archive, I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kinda weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case according to the file. There appear to be two defining characteristics in every genocide. The first is that a bloody message is found written.
Oh, that's right.
No. It's actually blood.
But more important is the other characteristic.
Never made public? What?
Why don't you tell?
I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer, other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-up.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware? There's only one logical answer. It's because the culprit in this case is the
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity.
You lie! What? Hey, okay, Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? Yeah.
Another riddle. Man.
Now I understand! Is it because Genocide Jack has a
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file, too. They thought that the suspect might have... what did they call it?
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting...
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw...
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again. In other words, within her is one personality that...
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because...
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her.
Yeah. How can you know all...
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motives, she told me she said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear, and that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that...
This is all a lie.
You said you wouldn't...
What?
You promise.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little... This is the real world, not some Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack... But in spite of that promise...
You said if I kept my promise, you would... That's the only reason I promised.
How many times do I have to tell you? I never... But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing.
I tried.
But your efforts were useless. Well, the opening act is nearly finished.
You...
Oh, hello there! Is it me? Yes! So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jack!
What the fuck is this?
Toko! What happened?
Not Toko! That's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality! So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's...
So...
Like they say, sound and murderous mind, sound and murder...
This one is so different from the one we've...
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a... Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another...
Miss Jack,
What's up?
some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation.
Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all master... Just kidding!
Then,
Of course it's not true! How dare you? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are total... I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over...
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes... Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no...
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret, well, let's assume that Toko's... If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been... So she had a very clear motive to never...
Interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Huh?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder. Maybe so, but never...
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah, I could never believe... Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would... Oh, an alibi, huh? Now...
When you compare your past...
Past murders to this incident.
The modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need?
Give it up. You killed her.
Sorry, but I...
You say that, but
Perhaps if you had an... Oh, an alibi...
when you compare your the modus
Operandi matches completely.
What more proof do we need?
Give it up. You killed her.
Sorry,
but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect?
Perhaps if you had an... Oh, an alibi...
When you compare your the modus
Operandi matches completely.
What more proof do we need?
Give it up. You killed her.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us?
Perhaps if you had an... Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
No, that's wrong. Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the genocide
Uh-oh, you don't— Well then, human garbage! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine!
Let me rephrase that. In a way, there are two clear differences between the... I got it! For one, in the genocide Jack murders, according to the case file, they were all apparently killed with... But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes! That is
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly and there's more?
That's right! In my recipe of murder, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto—
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cook?
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
I got it! Do you remember what the killer... They used some kind of rope to hang her up by...
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous genocide Jack... Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I use my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrange— Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's—
Big Mac?
Listen up, Big Mac! There's actually one—
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? There's a pattern there, just wait. Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little—
I got it! Is it because...
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the mark!
What are you talking?
In all the genocide Jack cases, all...
They were all...
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all I can't believe I said it!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl! And the mopey side— But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man,
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line! That's the absolute reality of the one—
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not— It's a different matter entirely. When you're forced to kill in order to—
Quiet, lowly
Lowly?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious—
That does make—
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to—
Maybe you use the dumbbell, cause...
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class—
Okay, whatever. There still are...
Are you sure about that? Da-da-da-da! That's right! So I can kill anywhere, and why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by— Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you, gutter dogs? Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway!
I have no idea what's going on anymore! Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah! That's why we figured it had to be the real deal, and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Shoot! 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 I refuse to give up yet! Are the methods I...
Well then, human garb!
I got it! I got it!
And guess what?
I got it!
Da-da-da-da!
Shoot! 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 I refuse to give up yet! I got it! I got it! I got it!
They were all...
That's right! I have too much passion and...
It's...
I would...
Here's my answer! Byakuya, it's possible. Plus, you'd already looked through the... Are you...
Then the reason he pushed the because he wanted to pin.
So, he rearranged the adorable glasses man was...
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Sure.
The way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little... You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right?
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said,
On the contrary, there's some—
oh, go ahead. Share with the rest.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found— But he was acting—
If you're presented with the opportunity, that's unnatural.
The victim was Chihiro.
So of course I would suggest we
Check the girls' locker room. There was no time. What's so
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya, but he was acting—
If you're presented with the opportunity, that's unnatural.
The victim
victim was Chihiro.
Who was a girl.
Shoot!
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
Shoot!
So, you said Byakuya was— But he was acting—
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the—
That's a natural reaction for—
The victim was Chihiro.
So of course I would say there was no time. What's so
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya, but he was acting—
If you're presented with the opportunity,
That's unnatural.
The victim
Victim was Chihiro.
Who was a girl.
Shoot!
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
Shoot!
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the— But he was acting—
if you're presented with the opportunity,
That's unnatural.
The victim was Chihiro.
No, that's wrong! I'll tell you what's so strange, because up until we actually discovered the body. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was—
I see. That's interesting. Very interesting and—
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely. What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you?
There is.
There is more to it. We just talked about the differences between this case. The proof you're looking for is—
Oh? Proof that—
What? The difference? You want me to explain? When I want to kill, I use my very own specials, and I use those same scissors to arrange them.
But Chihiro was
suspended with— It was some kind of—
That's right.
Then there must be some—
Hey, Byakuya. I'd never seen
seen that rope.
Before in my life.
No, that's wrong! Actually, because you see, that rope, that extension— What? Byakuya, you've used the extension, and the same extension cord that was in the library went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as—
Then Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't—
That's really what you think? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up. I intentionally made it look like genocide. Is that about right? What's wrong? I asked you if you think—
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right?
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a—
sorry, I
Huh? Do we really need—
I know, but there's something that's still—
Is that right? I killed her in the girls' locker room. Then what about all that
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, but are you sure about that? Isn't it possible—
How What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is— She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest? That was awfully specific. Please tell me.
I believe I did.
Hey, don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was—
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else—
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is...
Your proof?
The poster in the girls' locker room was... a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fit!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy... Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys'...
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Soccer?
You're referring to my protein coffee, or
Protein coffee?
while I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet, but I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been...
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet. In fact, I found it on the
That's definitely the stain from my—
Then, does that mean that the carpet? But why would any—
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible. What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the bloodstained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why?
Huh?
Why would they go to all that trouble? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your but Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed— She had no way to get into the boys'—
No, she did have a way! And
I highly doubt—
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know—
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have got—
she must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate pro— I'm sure that would have been—
No, I don't— She used the thing.
Huh?
I'm talking about Leon's
handbook, of course.
No, that's wrong! No, I don't think Chihiro used—
Why not?
Because Leon's hand—
Oh. Well then, yeah.
I am struck silent by how quickly—
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's—
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want.
Yup. Hit the nail square on the—
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense.
So then, she must have hacked hers like I said.
Psst! You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up,
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook—
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initialist—
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room.
Okay then, I've—
Hold on a second. I agree with you, though.
What the? You finally decided there's no way she could get in the boys' locker room.
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one—
What?
What are you talking about?
Well, to explain— Why don't we take a little break from the trial—
Wait.
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial—
Huh? Well, all right then. Now then, what is it you want to show us?
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your—
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top—
I'd like you to examine the victim. Be sure to examine the entire body.
Examine her? No,
no, wait, no, wait, no!
It's probably best.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything.
Very well.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to...
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro... So just leave the...
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action?
That's not it at all.
Okay, I'm sorry, Chihiro.
Be sure to check her entire body.
Her entire... What?
What is it?
Not possible. This girl...
Is what?
Is a boy!
Ah, I see. So she was...
What? You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about...
Then it's really true?
Chihiro was...
Oh, what, you guys didn't know? Heck, Chihiro Fujisaki was...
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, no.
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone. Yes! Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back... Ahem. I do apologize. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a...
Yes, well... I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is... And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining...
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and...
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girl. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girl.
So Chihiro really was killed?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but... yes.
Well, I must admit, I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his feet.
This is the most titillating...
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally...
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting.
He's off.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned...
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused...
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying assault. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with it.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with it?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to at least... And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to... And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually... If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reason. It's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct, for the time being.
Mark it as... correct?
He's right. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now.
Well, I find it very hard to
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed.
If you're really telling the truth, then... why?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is now then. If it wasn't...
Well... I don't think I can say for sure without talking about...
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to because if we're wrong,
That's true. Very well then.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or...
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time.
That's very...
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide...
I got it!
Isn't there a...
Well, clues are... Did nobody get a look at the kill?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point.
Yeah. All we need right now is any-
It's over. It's all over.
You want to know who saw
The killer!
And only the killer.
No, that's wrong. I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you
Now that you mention it, yes.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you?
Whatever! Just hurry up and...
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a and then, I assume...
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the...
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them.
And that is when he said something that... Chihiro told me he... But why would he be in a hurry?
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone.
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of...
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was...
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting enough so that he was willing to risk his secret.
What a The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who-
But knowing what we know, I can't even...
No. You already have what you...
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Serious? Who is it?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag that focus on the details of these items, and it should become...
Are you sure about... You really think we can figure out who did it?
What? You want to track down some...
Even if we have the equipment for that, we...
As was noted, the evidence is already gone.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste.
The bag was just a normal... All the bags in there are the same, so...
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent... Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk...
First of all,
He was on his way to go exercise.
So next we have to... Why did he choose...
What do you mean, the specific...
I got it! It matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, the killer was
Wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
No, that's wrong. Hold on a second, Mondo.
Huh?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she never said anything about... So why did you say Chihiro...
What are you...
Hey, Celeste. What color...
As a matter of fact,
And before we began the trial,
the only one I told about any...
Then... Mondo, how did you...
Because I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the...
No, that can't be. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only...
Cherry?
So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. He walked past me, and he was carrying the...
No, that can't be it either. When Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure if you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color...
It would appear you've dug your own...
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with?
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw us. That's why you said you knew who did it. to put them on edge.
That's right. Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him.
But why?
That's a good question. There was a certain... You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew
You know...
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positive.
No. I'm not not nearly as frightful as someone capable of...
Mondo, did you really?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words... What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a...
It's true. My reasoning on that...
That was...
Well, this does present us with a problem.
That's what my little ghost friend is...
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling...
Really? What?
Actually, you know, now that I'm...
Jeez, does your confidence just...
If you...
What do you...
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the grounds.
I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from...
For a fact.
For a fact, I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after...
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite...
You're right. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take a...
And yet, this one does appear to be broken. As is Leon's, sitting useless in the main for all your confidence. That is a
Do you think there might be some kind of... How precisely?
Shoot! I got it! You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! Sure, maybe I let that...
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of...
Then we can only assume that someone... You know what the weakness is.
Huh?
I think it's a necessary piece of information.
But if I tell you...
Just tell us already!
Oh well, I have a weakness for... Then allow me to make a special announcement. When it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown. I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burn. So when you're in a sauna, make...
Wow, interesting.
That is a mere trifling speck of...
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sun, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break...
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weak...
But how'd they find out?
Indeed.
What if they found out by...
What do you mean?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness? They'd realize it was broken, of course. And it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they hadn't eaten...
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something? I don't know of anyone who took...
I might know someone who did.
Whoa!
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the... Here's my answer! Mondo, your handbook...
What? Why? What?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the song. And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform, but little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniforms. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook in...
No! Wait! Hold on! You've got it all wrong! I don't accept this! Show me the proof!
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Let's test if what he said you broke your own. In other words, if then that proves.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
See? Makoto was wrong after all!
Shoot!
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your
own handbook. In other words, if then that proves.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
No, that's wrong! Mondo, the handbook you have right now.
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall. Isn't that one actually?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't near.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right.
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your hand?
Well, here's how There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student. But if they're dead, it's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries, if as such.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, I'm happy to admit I made a mistake.
Son of a...
What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him you are wrong! You have everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time? From the that way, everything will become clear. And we'll all see if I was right. The killer is you! First, let's take a look. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse. At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. With bag in hand, Chihiro... She made her way to the locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? The killer is you! With bag in hand, Chihiro... She made her way to the locker room. But how could the victim, who was a... Simple. Because she, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boy. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the... and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the blood, then removing the bloody and finally carrying the corpse into the girls' A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course, but this alone doesn't prove that the killer was... After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been using one of those. A boy could get into the girls' locker room without much... And that's exactly how the killer, with the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room. That could have been the end of things. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to... intervene. So, after stumbling on he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's Then, using the victim's own blood, he wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack... And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played. Isn't that right, Mondo?
Wait! No, where's your evidence? Yeah, you need evidence! Without any proof, you can't... Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! False! I refuse to vote! Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! False! You're corrupt! I refuse to vote! I refute you! Show me some evidence!
This should prove it! If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with, in which case, we can just check each once we do that.
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah, I did it. I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just go ahead, Monokuma. Ask for the god.
Roger that!
Wait!
No waiting! No time for the moment we've all been waiting! Who will you elect as the black? Will you make the right choice? What's it gonna be? What? What? Ta-da! Unbelievable.
Sorry.
What is...
Now then. Actually... Ha!
Wait.
Hey, What?
I'm sorry. But... That's right. I want to change.
Hey,
Yeah, that's right.
Uh-huh.
Correct. Indeed. Certainly.
But...
Because... I knew it.
What is this? You're wrong!
Don't make me repeat myself.
Hey,
I just... Don't fuck with me. I just... I just...
I'm sorry. Huh? But I want to change.
What? What?
Huh?
What?
No! What's wrong?
Damn you!
I just wanted to...
Yeah, that's right. You son of a bitch! I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Yep.
It can't be.
Well now.
Ridiculous.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment. Let's give it everything we...
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made.
What is this?
Naturally.
Hey. However...
What?
Honestly. There is nothing to be done.
What?
Well...
That's right.
I see.
But...
Interesting.
Correct. Indeed. Hey.
What's this?
You. What?
Damn.
Huh? What the heck? Damn it! Ooh, how exciting!
That's enough. In the name of my family.
You're getting all riled up! Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stop. Fear and I went to all. You do remember you were nothing we can do about it now. So just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? As long as you don't want to know my measurements. Oof, my, you really... I know I said you could ask anything, but... Super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied... And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their... friends.
I know I shouldn't, but I've had enough. I can't take it. It's like if I keep thinking like that.
Okay. But...
Oh!
So then...
How about that? Impossible.
Well... it's like...
Well... Is that okay? Huh?
Here we go!
There is nothing to be done.
You know? I'm right?
Perhaps. Well then.
You called for me and so I appeared!
What?
Yes! Aha! You SOB! Aha!
Could it be...
So in the end... Ugh.
Let's see. Isn't it wonderful?
Listen up!
Ba-bum, ba-bum.
So then...
Too bad! Watch out!
Most unfortunate.
It would seem... Whew.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yes, indeed. You know nothing! Yes, indeed.
Watch out! Phew! What? Hey, in other words, you guys?
I'm getting serious!
Ina.
Huh?
Hina.
Well... Just a second!
Well,
Sorry. Huh?
Bastard!
So,
Could it be...
That's
That's right!
Well,
Yeah!
so then... I see.
Aww.
You SO!
What?
No, 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 no!
Huh? Impossible.
So in the end...
Correct.
Huh?
Perhaps.
You know? What the heck?
Well,
You know nothing! Damnation!
Let's see.
However,
What? This is...
Could it be...
I see.
Well then...
Well...
How about that?
Actually,
Huh?